Hello, this is Tumblr user Teacup Captor and AO3 user Teacup Captor, and today I am going to be reading my work, Discomfort in a Married State, where a bee accidentally gets wed to Jesus Christ during Leo, that's me, and Jelly's wedding. Will they be able to make their marriage work? Quick disclaimer. I grayed out writing this, so I remember the process of writing, but I don't remember the exact words. Some of it is sort of fresh in mind because the bee in this did a wonderful reading. Imagine this. There's a beautiful wedding between two friends. There's bees, there's music, there's John Watson. Now, imagine thunder strikes. It hits the best man, Juno, who protested this wedding, brought on by Loki the Staffy himself. Chaos reigns. It gets wilder and wilder. Lord, trust me, I was there. But our main focus isn't the happy couple, nor is it the person who just died. Not even the adorable Staffy. No. Our main focus is Jesus. He stands off to the side as he attempts to give the happy couple his blessing when one of the bees flies up close to his ear, whispering in his earlobe specifically. "You like jazz?" hummed the bee. Jesus caresses the bee with his palm, blushing. "I do," he mutters. And with that, holy song follows, and Jesus knows in his heart what just happened. He and the bee just got married. The bee screams, "Wait, I didn't consent to this." When he approached Jesus, the bee didn't intend to go this far. They were thinking something more along the lines of a fling, just some temporary fun, and yet he couldn't deny the way the light hit Jesus' face made him look absolutely stunning. Jesus sighed gently at the bee, disappointed, before turning to the newlyweds, Jelly and Leo. Him and the bee could discuss this later. Jesus waved his hands in a wizardly manner, with a gentle smile. "You will have the most incredible of honeymoons. Mariana and I will make sure it is undoubtedly beautiful. I must go, though, my flock. I have things to do." For the last part of his comment, Jesus looked at the bee. Then he, Mariana, and the bee ascended to the heavens. The rest of the bees transform into a human shape. A familiar one at that. The bees had turned into another Jesus. And so, on the holy day of March 9th, Beesus was born. The Beesus shrieks. "Was I just kidnapped?" they exclaim. Jesus takes a deep inhale and looks at Beesus, caressing their face gently. "Listen, Beesus, I know this all came so quick, but when you whispered those 3 words in my earlobe, my love for you was undeniable, and I said I do, and we were wed, as was the fate of the universe, I suppose, since neither of us had a say in this. While you didn't consent, neither did I. But I haven't regretted this marriage for a single second. Please, we can make this work." Jesus' voice quivered as he spoke, tears forming in his eyes. Beesus nodded, also tearing up. All right, I'm willing to give us a chance." Jesus smiled and giggled, wiping tears from his own eyes. "Thank you, Beesus," he said, admiring Beesus' form for a moment, then sighing. "Did you know that bees pass gas?" Jesus said, smiling. Beesus' face lost all expression. "What?" Jesus cleared his throat. "Sorry, give me just one moment," he said. With that, he started humming, brows furrowed. His hums caused his form to shift, the light waves of his shape changing, splitting in 2. Suddenly, Jesus was now Jesus and a young teen, it seems. Jesus turned to the teen. "Science, I appreciate the time we had together, but for now we must part ways. I hope you understand," he said, holding Science by its shoulders. Wait, Jesus, we can work through this. Jesus, Science said frantically. Jesus shook his head. "No, Science, not this time," he said, letting go of Science's shoulders. No, Jesus, 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 please! Cyan said as it started falling, slowly at first, but increasingly quickly. No! Cyan screamed as Wolf kept falling further and further down, the scream eventually becoming entirely inaudible. Not due to Cyan's falling too far away, rather because Cyan stopped screaming. Jesus looked at Beezus. Sorry about that. This kid was sharing my body for a while. I needed to hitch a ride. Now, I really think we should look into getting kids, he said happily. Beezus started sweating. His heart skipped a beat. Jesus, I'm not ready, Beezus stuttered, suddenly getting interrupted by a loud voice. A voice with a Spanish accent. Could it be? The voice of Mariana. Juno, you are forgiven for your sins. You are on thin ice, but forgiven, she said. There are a few unidentifiable noises in the background. Oh, me, I have to go. John and Sherlock are out, and Archie's in my flat. He pissed on my rug, she said. And then, silence. But not for long. Beezus, completely panicked, yells out, Mariana, please, Jesus wants kid. I'm not ready to be a dad/mom. Their voice is desperate. Tears are running down his cheeks. It's all going too fast. Too fast! Jesus gently caresses Beezus. Listen, Beezus. I really just think it would be good for us. If you aren't ready, I understand. But please, just think about it, he said, gently stroking Beezus. Beezus broke free from Jesus' embrace. Jesus gasped. Beezus, he said, hurt. I can't do this, Jesus. I need space. I need some Mariana damn space. This is too much, too soon. Don't talk to me, Beezus yelled, tears streaming down, and without hesitating, he flew off. Beezus, please, we can talk about this, Jesus yelled desperately, a hand held out for his one true love. But it was too late. Beezus was gone, and Jesus felt a B-shaped hole in his heart. Beezus was sitting in a cloud, crying. He wanted to stop thinking about Jesus, but alas, they kept thinking about all the good moments they had. Beezus whispering in Jesus' earlobe, asking if he likes jazz. Jesus saying, I do. There wasn't much more, but still, their bond was undeniable. And Beezus was experiencing grade A cognitive dissonance. His heart wanted to stay with Jesus, to have kids, whatever he wants, but alas, he wasn't ready. He hadn't even consented to that damned marriage. Beezus felt so lost, so alone. They simply didn't know what to do with themselves. When suddenly, he hears panting. Confused, Beezus looks up to the source of the panting. Archie? Mariana? He said, suddenly recognizing the bulldog and the wonderful lady walking him. Yes, Beezus, it's me. I had to walk Archie since he peed on the carpet. I figured he needed a walk. Why are you crying? Mariana said, her gentle voice comforting the poor bee. Well, Jesus wants kids, but I'm just not ready. I don't even know if I want to be with him, Beezus said, sitting up and wiping his tears. Mariana tilted her head and crouched down to the bee. I'm so sorry, Beezus. That sounds rough. Would you like my advice? She offered. Beezus hesitated, but nodded. Please, I really need it, they said. All right. Try to picture your life without Jesus. Is it a happy life? Is life with Jesus really worth giving up? Mariana said. Beezus furrowed his brows. I don't... Ooh, Mariana interrupted the bee unintentionally, as Archie suddenly sprinted, tugging on the leash, causing Mariana to almost step over. Oh, me. I'm so sorry, Beezus, but I have to go. You can figure this out. I believe in you. Bye-bye, bye, she said, as she stood up and started walking off, waving. Beezus looked at her, disappointed but understanding. Okay, Mariana. Thank you, he muttered, waving. And this time, when Beezus thought about everything he'd been through with Jesus, everything they had been through, he remembered all the good things. The way Jesus' hair flowed, the way he'd caressed them, the romantic feeling of the wedding where they'd met, and how that romantic feeling never really faded. Even after Beezus was kidnapped, even after Jesus kicked that teen out of his body, even now, yes, Even in this very moment, Beesus still felt it. They felt the love, the devotion of him and Jesus. He could imagine a future, a million futures, and in each and every one, Jesus was a prominent part of Beezus' life. No, in each and every one, Jesus was their life. Beezus stood up and started running. He had to find Jesus. Jesus was looking down at the wedding of Leo and Jelly. The guests were sharing cake, eating honey-themed desserts, and laughing. Why couldn't he and Beezus be this happy together? Jesus sighed. "Jesus!" a voice behind him called. Not just a voice, their voice. Jesus' head whipped around. "Beezus!" he called, his soul filled with joy as he saw his love running towards him, crying. "Oh, Jesus, I'm so sorry," Beezus cried. Jesus opened his arms, ready to embrace Beezus. "Beezus, I am too." The two met in a warm embrace, trembling and crying. "Jesus, I'm so sorry about what I said," Beezus said. Jesus hushed him gently, stroking their back. "Shh, no, Beezus, I'm sorry. You never said yes to this wedding. You just wanted a fling, and I forced this on you. I shall never forgive myself. We'll take things at your pace from now on, and if you wish to leave me, I'll understand." Beezus and Jesus cried for a moment longer, until Beezus pulled away from the embrace. They both wiped their tears. "So, what do you want, Beezus?" Jesus asked in anticipation. Beezus sniffled. They inhaled deep, breath shaky. "Jesus, I think I want more than just a fling," Beezus said. Jesus' eyes welled with tears. "Nothing you could have said would ever make me happier than those words, my dear," he said. Beezus teared up, too, blushing heavily. Jesus grabbed Beezus' hands, staring deep into his eyes, and without even noticing it, they both moved closer. They only noticed when their faces were only a few centimeters apart. Jesus' eyes went to Beezus' lips, causing Beezus to blush even more. Jesus leaned a bit forward, but hesitated and leaned back again, anxious regarding Beezus' feelings, not wanting to force them into doing anything they didn't want. The tension was obvious. Beezus' heart was pounding out of his chest, but still they decided to follow the advice Mariana gave. Beezus leaned in. When their lips touched, it was like heaven. No, it was like a miracle, 1,000 miracles all at once. The rush was undeniable, and their lips fit perfectly together. It seemed an eternity had passed when they finally broke the kiss. Beezus looked at Jesus, eyes filled with hope, happiness, and love. "I do," Beezus said, and everything was, for a moment, perfect.